Give me one moment. We will get underway.
Alright, I guess I shouldn't mute myself. Well? Alright, fellas. For anyone that's in chat, I'm gonna try to do my best to pay attention so you guys can ask questions. And I'm probably not gonna listen. Actually, let's do something different. How should we name ourselves? Let's see. I guess I'm just gonna go for... Yeah, I'm gonna go for KFC. Luckily, our name doesn't change anything. Text scrolls instantly. Actually, the only place in which our Digimon's name is ever gonna show up are in menus, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. Let's see. Yes, I do love you guys. I love you a lot. Which Pokemon's my favorite? This is Digimon. No P word in here, please. Alright. Let's go. I'm gonna start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, fellas. This is Digimon World 4. If you've ever played any other Digimon game, just forget about it because this game is pretty unique, even for Digimon standards. This is an action RPG. We use swords, and we're not gonna Digivolve. Oh, there are also no humans either, so that's exactly what you would expect from a Digimon game. As far as our options, we can have like our weapon, we can have armor pieces, and then we can have an extra slot to equip other items to give stats. That's like the gear that we have. We also have a bunch of other stats, but nah, don't worry about them. As far as, let's see, as far as combat options go, we can attack, we can parry, which is going to be extremely important, and we can do a couple of fancy moves. But basically, you just attack and block, and use a couple of MP techniques. As for the story of this game, forget about it. Just like, in theory, it's based on the Digimon X movie, but in reality, they just got a bunch of scenes, threw it in a trailer, and that's it. That's the only connection whatsoever. So forget about story. And in fact, we're not gonna read it. Just nah. We picked Gilmon for, like, we have 4 different starters. Gilmon, Doromon, Agumon, and Vmon. We picked Gilmon for reasons that I'll explain once we actually get to it. For now, let's talk about other things. Let's talk about the tutorial. Unfortunately, we have to do the tutorial every time, but luckily for us, we don't actually have to follow the instructions that they give us. So we're gonna abuse that, and so long as we kill the enemies as fast as possible, we're just gonna move on as fast as possible. So as soon as we MP tech menu and use the Petit Fire technique, that's gonna immediately kill this enemy and advance the tutorial. It also helps that within each stage of the tutorial, it's gonna completely refill our mana, so there's that. So we can just abuse this tech as much as possible. What else? Alright, enemies in the tutorial can drop items. That's kind of random. This Ogremon right here is guaranteed to drop an MP Disc Alpha, but every other mon in this area can randomly drop an item. Generally they don't do it, but if they do, I guess that's kind of a bonus for the starting tutorial. Right here we're gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of just pulling the Petit Fire, we're instead gonna do a poke and then pull it. The reason for that is, a single Petit Fire would not be enough to kill, and this game has a mechanic in which if you deal over half of an enemy's HP in a single blow, they go through a huge period of knockback in which they go invincible, and you have to wait for them to get back on their feet before you can hit them. And that wastes time, so instead, we just do that little poke and then do the kill. That's the strat that's gonna come up in various places. Punchy, I'm from Brazil. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, basically this is it. as far as the tutorial go. There's one last round of enemies right here. As you can see, this huge period of knockback. We have to wait for them to get back before we can kill it. We have enough time to collect loot. Oh, a random drop. That's actually pretty good. In the tutorial, we want to see stuff, mainly HP disc, because we're gonna need a lot of healing items in the beginning. We actually got 2. That's above average. Generally, you only get 1, and sometimes you don't even get a single healing disc, which is like, what can you do? Alright, so this is the first area of the game. This area is called Death Alley, and the gist of it is, the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna spawn these enemies right here, and then we're gonna die. This might sound a little bit counterintuitive, and at first one might think, okay, is this maybe to set up some sort of RNG manip? No, it's not RNG manip. Okay, maybe it's to set up a glitch. Actually, it's quite the opposite thing. Like, this game is very well coded. I'm gonna spoil that for you guys. When you die for the very first time, a message pops up explaining everything that happens upon death. Now, because this game is extremely Dark Souls-ish on its difficulty, you are pretty much guaranteed to die in the first few areas of the game. Like, casually, you would never, ever be able to survive. So because of that, the developers never bothered to code this message in further areas of the game. So if the first death happens later on, the game is just gonna softlock because the message is not programmed and the game can't access it. So yes, we're gonna suicide, just to prevent that. In a world record attempt, a death would be so costly that you might as well just reset anyway. But because this is a marathon, we want to prevent that from happening. And, like, assuming that I don't die for the rest of the run, this little suicide only really costs 40 seconds, so it's definitely worth to do it in a marathon setting. Obviously, I don't intend to die, but just in case it happens. Okay, I position myself coolly, that's fine. Right, so, right now, we're supposed to get, like, 2 keys to access a new dungeon. Because, like, the structure of the game is, go to a new area, do a couple of local dungeons, get keys, go to the next area. But that's actually kind of boring. So instead, I'm just gonna jump right here and then, whoops, and then I'm out of bounds casually, boom. There we go, 40 minutes of gameplay saved right there. There's really not much to say it. This trick is not really hard. I actually messed up because I was focusing on talking. Hashtag commentary. But like, just by looking at it, I'm pretty sure you can reproduce this yourself within a couple of tries. Like, it's really easy. It requires no positioning at all. You just gotta look at it and you can do it yourself. The good side about this is that we save 40 minutes of gameplay, and that's awesome. The bad side about it is that we're gonna be extremely underleveled. Like, really, really underleveled. We're supposed to have done 2 dungeons before we access this area right here. So, these enemies right here can kill us in 3 hits. They're gonna block most of our attacks, and we're gonna deal miserable damage to them. So this is gonna be real fun. This is where the first grinding section starts, by the way. You're gonna see me walking kind of along the edges of the room. That's to avoid the spawn zone in the middle. I want to come down here and check for items in these crates. Thanks, game. You didn't give me nothing. I'm also missing my attacks. Thanks, game, a lot. Not a single item. You're gonna see me spawn the zone and then kill the last crate. The reason for that is that crate triggers a second set of spawns, and if you spawn the second set without spawning the first set disappears entirely. This is not like a soft lock or anything, the game just continues as normal, but because we want to be grinding here, we want to spawn as many enemies as possible per loading screen. So we want to make sure to just collect loot in safety, then spawn, then trigger the second set. I'm gonna shut up for a little bit while I focus on getting the rhythm down, because in this game, if you just mash as fast as possible, you actually end up attacking slower. So you have to kind of get a rhythm going, and that's a little bit hard, easier said than done. So I'm gonna shut up for a little while, so I can get this. Whoops, that's a hit. That's fine. Alright. Oh yeah, by the way, I should probably mention this. We're playing on Dolphin right now. We're not playing on GameCube. Okay, let me go first about the different versions. There are 3 versions for this game. There's PS2, Xbox, the original, and GameCube. We're playing GameCube version because it has faster load times. In particular, we're playing the emulator, which has even faster loads. But that's really all I have to play on, so that's what I'm gonna play on. By the end of the run, you just add like 2 minutes and 40-ish seconds, and you can kind of convert times between real Wii and emulation. So, for those of you that are fans of actual console runs, there's that. Remind me to talk about it later, and I can explain this a little bit better. I guess I should mention, each one of these Gaburimons have 74 points of health. No, it's not 75, it's 74. And we're dealing 5 points of damage. 5 or 6. And they block like half of the time. So you can use math and figure out how many hits we have to do on each one of them. And this just goes to show how underleveled we are compared to where we should be. Not only, and also not only we have fewer levels, we also don't have any sort of equipment that we should have. We should have armor pieces, better weapons and stuff, but no, we don't have any. We're gonna fix that as we go, because as we grind, we get stronger and the grind gets just faster and faster. Right? Okay, I'm gonna try to save time, even though I probably shouldn't. But here's where you... Whoops. Sometimes you miss one enemy and then the door doesn't open and you go like, what? What does tech do? Okay, I'm gonna explain that. This game works on a proficiency system. Like, there are different types of weapons. There's stab, there are axes, there are pistols, there are lots of types of weapons. And to equip better weaponry, you don't need levels, rather you need proficiency in that weapon's type of skill. Now there is a cap per level, so in a sense there is kind of a level progression, but it's mostly proficiency. Each time you guys see one of those tech up arrows, it means that my proficiency is going up. And that's actually really good, it's one of the points of the grind. I'm gonna explain a little bit more about it in a second. But for now, just assume that this is pretty good. You'll have seen me like go to the next rune and then go immediately back. This is because this spot is pretty good for grinding. Not only because of the enemies themselves, but because we also can just kill those crates over and over again to potentially get new items. So that's gonna be very important. There are 3 key points to this grind section. The first one is level 7. You don't even have, like, you don't have to worry about other points if you don't have level 7, so that's just a good reference for you guys. Look for that, look for my level and know that if it's not 7, we're gonna keep hitting enemies until we get to 7. And then once we get to 7, we're gonna worry about some other things. Whoops. I'm gonna safety heal even though I probably shouldn't. Enemies can crit in this game, and if they do, it's roughly twice the damage. At that point, I was sure I could survive 1 hit, but if it was a crit, I could potentially die, which is very bad, so I'm just gonna play it a little bit safe and heal. That's why I wanted as many healing items as possible. Also, I'm sorry for the coughs, guys, but I'm still a little bit sick, so bear with me. Oh yeah, I should also mention that proficiency is good because not only it allows you to equip better weaponry. Oh, there's a critical hit, as I said. I think I'm gonna YOLO this heal. Proficiency also increases your damage. Like, we have a damage formula. Like, damage is 6 times your strength plus 4 times your proficiency, all divided by an enemy's defense. In the context of a run, it's like, you need about 20 proficiency, actually more like 25 proficiency points to get 1 point in damage. So there's that. Alright, good. I should also mention that level ups also completely heal your HP and mana, and this is gonna play a crucial role later on in the run. For now, it's just good because we can like fix up all of our mistakes for getting hits. enemies can really get you here. Like, this grind is absolutely awful. Like, I might make it look like it's pretty easy, but in reality it's very stressful. It's like, this grind is very awkward. We're gonna do a second grinding section later on, and that one's gonna go much better. Like, it's twice as long, but don't worry, just trust me when I say it's a lot better. Did I miss it? Yes, I missed another enemy. Sometimes this happens because... Wait, where's that enemy? Oh no, I'm losing time! No! No! Ah! Also, sometimes I do these little high-pitched screams. I'm sorry, guys. If that happens in RIP headphones, I'm so sorry. That's just a tendency of mine. Anyhow, let's see. Once again, we're gonna keep going in and out. We actually won a couple of items. I guess I'm gonna explain this now. There are 3 points to this grind. The first one, as I said, level 7. The reason why we want level 7 is because we want to equip a better weapon. The stab dagger that we have right now absolutely sucks. It's probably the worst weapon in the entire game. I mean, you can argue about it, but it's probably the worst weapon in the entire game. So we want to... Oh! World record RNG! Let's go! Okay, wait. No. Is it? Oh! World record RNG. Okay. Get your hypes up in your Pog Champs because we really got good luck. It's been a while since I've gotten it. It's not like 100% world record, but like it's more luck than I could ever ask for in a marathon. Remember that I said that we were looking for 3 points? I'm gonna explain them now, and after that it's gonna tie in to explain what is the world record RNG that I'm talking about. Whoops. The first thing that we gotta look for is level 7. The reason for that is we want as much proficiency as possible to equip a better weapon, and we want 210 points, but there's a cap of 30 per level, so do your maths, and to get up 210 you need level 7. The second thing that we obviously need is as I said, 210 proficiency points. So once I hit level 7 and I kill a bunch more enemies, before I move on, I am going to look at my tech, and if I have enough, good, I can just move on. If I don't have enough, then I'm gonna have to keep grinding on those enemies, even though I don't need more experience, just to get the proficiency to the correct level, so that once I get back to base, I can equip the weapon that I want. Now the third thing that we want to look for is actually money. We want to be able to buy the said better weapon, but to do that, you have to you need to get money, and a lot more money than we can actually get in this run. The reason for that is because this game has a system in which a given weapon or armor piece can have like a slot in which you can equip extra chips. Think of it as rune stones to enhance the weapon. So for example, if the stab dagger had a mod slot, I could equip, say, a fire chip, and then the weapon would have fire properties. Or maybe I could equip a speed chip and it would increase my speed. Or like I can equip a chip that increases critical hit, gives lifesteal, and so on and so on. And as you may expect from this kind of explanation, this is an extremely desirable effect, and we absolutely want it in a run. The problem is though, it's so good that it makes the weapon cost a lot more than it's supposed to. So we're gonna need a lot of money. And by this point in time, we have absolutely no way of getting that much money. So how do we do it? Well, just like weapons cost a lot more to buy when they have these mod slots, they also, like, if they drop, like you get a random drop and you try to sell it, you can also sell it for a lot more. So that's what we want. We want to get a random drop here that's going to give us mods so that we can sell them for a lot of money and then buy the proper weapon with mods. And looking at my items, I actually got a weapon with mods. I didn't get like enough, but like I got more than I could ever ask for in a marathon, so that's good enough. The other thing that we got was an armor piece. The benefits of getting an armor piece are, one, because we already got it, we're not gonna have to spend money buying it later on. So in a sense, that's kind of a money save. The other thing that it does is that it increases your defense, so you can be a little bit reckless on this grind. You can just not care about enemies hitting you as much. And the last thing that it does is that it increases your speed. And speed in this game makes it so that you can hit enemies more often. In other words, they're not gonna block as much, and in other words, even though it doesn't like directly increases your damage, it indirectly increases it, so it makes the grind go even faster. Ideally for like true world record RNG, we would get like on the very first crate that we destroyed, we would get an armor piece. And preferably one with mods. And then this would be like Pog Champs all over the place. That's how I got my PB, by the way. For this run, we actually have mods. We don't have like enough, but we have like we can make do with what we got. And I'm like not gonna complain. It's absolutely perfect. Like, guys, this is so good. But yeah, like, I'm actually pretty hype. In World Record RNGs, you get Cypher Core with 4 mods. I've seen it often to like think that there's some sort of manipulation that we could do, but I don't have any way of actually knowing it. It's just a theory. Here we got a Brave Core, which is kind of the one we want. I'm sorry, headphones. I'm so sorry. We have a Brave Core. That's the one we would have bought anyway. And yeah. This is good. Like, this is really good. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just way too hype right now. Oh boy. Alright, maybe I should focus on killing enemies, not just getting hyped and not doing anything. You might see me killing that last enemy by using a Petit Fire. That's just to save a little bit of time on the movement, because instead of just staying there and poking it and then walking on the way back, you just walk, and while you walk, you just throw a bunch of Petit Fires and kill them from afar. This saves a little bit of time over the run. Normally I wouldn't do this much in a marathon because I want to make sure I get as many items as humanly possible, but because I already have, like, just enough to get by, I'm gonna try to save as much time as I can. I'm still gonna try to get a few more items because I'm not, like, 100% at the point where I want to be, but, like, still. I can afford like missing one item or another. You'd also see me doing a couple of tricks like the charge attack and the spin attack. The charge attack has the interesting property in which you just attack, you keep holding it, and then you just release it, and then you go flying. On a vacuum, like the movement speed from the charge attack itself, it's actually the fastest form of movement in the game. However, because we have to stand still to charge it up, it's not actually worth to use it as a means of movement. On the flip side, however, if you're just waiting for a door to open, you might as well just, because you have nothing better to do, charge it, and as soon as it opens, you just fly and get the little bit of move speed bonus. The charge attack also has another interesting property in which it destroys objects in a single hit, regardless of how many it would take. And this is going to be useful because in a couple of places there are blocks which take 5 hits to kill. So instead of just hitting those hitting the block 5 times, we do a charge attack and kill it immediately. And then we couple this with the fact that the charge attack also has move speed bonus, and then instead of just going to the block and then attacking, we rather just charge attack from afar to get that move speed bonus, and on the very end of the charge attack, the very tip of our hitbox touches the hitbox of the obstacles and kills them in one hit. That's a way of save time. We're gonna do it in the next room. Like once we leave the grinding section. Like, it's not that much of a time save, but every little bit counts, and there are about 10 or so instances in which we're gonna do this. So like saving like 10-15 seconds for nothing, it's like I'll take it. Let's see what else. No, I missed one enemy. Where are you? I missed another enemy. No, I'm losing time. No. It's you. No, I missed it again. Okay, guys, I suck. So right now, I'm just charging an attack, and as soon as the door opens, get that little bit of move speed bonus and move up. Let's see. What else do I have to talk about this? As far as the early grind goes, this is pretty much it. I think we're gonna get a level up on this next pass, but I could be wrong, because I haven't been counting. I'm way too focused on getting hype and doing commentary. As far as the timer goes, now obviously we're always gonna be 40 seconds behind because of the suicide thing that I did at the beginning, but this grind is actually not all that good. By now I would have finished in my PB, I think I have finished in my PB by now. Granted, this is a marathon. Granted, I had better luck in that run. Oh yeah, okay, I should also talk about something else. Speaking of luck, remember that I was saying about proficiency and how proficiency increases damage? Yeah, the way you get proficiency is just attack enemies and you're randomly gonna get it. So there's also an RNG factor there in which if you get it earlier, you're gonna start dealing more damage earlier, and as such, you're gonna start grinding faster. Whereas if you get it later, by pure RNG, well, you just deal less damage, and that's kind of goes lower, and you really have no control over that, and you only really realize it by the end of the run. With that said, we can still get a very good time. I had another run the other day, which actually became a new recorded PB, because my actual PB, which is 234, was done using custom textures, so I can't really submit that for the leaderboards. And while I was doing practice attempts for this marathon, I actually got a 238. Like, just going no reset, let's go, no real luck. So, we can still get good times. Like, there are time saves over my PB. And I'm gonna point them out as I go. Obviously, you guys can't really see my splits because we're only streaming the game, but I am running them separately, so I can comment on them once the time comes. Man, this grind is really awful. Oops. Yes, we have a knife because that's what we're forced to use. Actually, we could use pistols. In fact, we are going to use pistols. So there's that. Alright, we got level 7. Now, remember that I said that once we get level 7, we're gonna check our items. Well, because we have a couple of enemies in this next room that we have to kill before moving on, I'm gonna kill them first, and then I'm gonna look for my drops. Because if I don't have everything now, but get on these enemies, then it's gonna just save me a menu trip. So I'm gonna kill these guys first. Alright, spin attack because why not? I'm gonna look for items. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna look my proficiency. I have 185. I need 210, so I'm gonna keep 185 in my mind. Now right here we're gonna do that charge attack thingy. We're gonna charge attack from afar. The very tip is gonna touch, and then we get the little bit of new speed bonus. So we have 185, so we're gonna count up as we kill these enemies so that we have 210. This is actually an awkward place to grind. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. $189. This is really awkward. 190. 191. 92, 93, charge attack from afar, 94, 95, 96, 97. Here's another set of spawns. Come on. 98. Reminded that I don't need experience, I just need the technique. 99. 200. Oops. This is actually pretty bad, not gonna lie. Oops, charged a little bit too far because I got distracted. Normally I would be done by now. 201. This is actually pretty bad. I want to be done with those enemies. I don't want to keep grinding. 202, 203, 204, 205, on. 206, 207. I have a feeling that we already hit max. No, we're still at 207. Am I dropping frames, guys? Is it my fault? Because, I mean, OBS is not showing anything. 207. This is actually pretty bad if we don't get it. 208, 209, 210. Alright. Whew, that took longer than expected. That's fine, though. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Coming up is the first boss of the run. It's actually supposed to be the third boss of the game, but luckily for us, it's the first, because if we were to actually do the other two bosses, they would be harder than doing this one, so that's a plus for us. The way I call him Genesect because it kind of looks like Genesect, but you know, the P word is forbidden, so no P word here. Alright, that's a boss, as I said. He dropped 20 data, nice. Again, another instance of charge attack from afar to get this little bit of extra move speed bonus. It dropped something, but I'm gonna explain it later. For now, let's go for a little bit of story. So, a team was sent to investigate this little area, and Chief Leomon, like, the team disappeared. We just found Chief Leomon, we rescued him, great, let's go back to base and report back. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, in my splits, I got a 2917. My PP is 2505. That's fine though. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's see what else. Yeah, we just found. Okay, we found Chief Leomon, but we didn't find the rest of the team, so we're gonna have to rescue them, and that's why we got a key to use a boat. Don't worry about it. Okay. Right now, we're gonna go into another section of the run, which I call Reset. The reason for that is, there are actually two reasons. The first one is that I don't actually check my my items to see if I got the ones that I want. I would actually just go into here, and when I'm selling it, I would realize, oh wait, I don't have the necessary money, and then I would reset the run right here. It wastes 5 times of your life, but it saves like 10 seconds of menuing, maybe 15 seconds of menuing, so it's absolutely worth it. In this section right here, we're gonna shop. And the first thing that you do to shop for items is to just sell everything. Ooh, nice, we actually got another. Okay, we got really good RNG. As you can see, there are some items which are worth 3,000 money, and the others are 40. That's because it has mods. That's just how important mods are in this run. Let's see. So, because I have more money than I'm supposed to, I'm actually gonna buy the items that I would in the world record attempts. Guys, this is pretty good. Not gonna lie. Buy ability chip. I'm gonna buy a fundamental because I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna buy a speed chip because I'm gonna need it. I actually can buy other stuff, but for now I'm just gonna buy this because I'm gonna have another chance to buy the items that, like, I don't need right now. So right here we're gonna buy a Beast Board. Beast Board greatly increases your defense, greatly increases your speed. I'm sorry, greatly increases your attack, greatly increases your speed, and reduces your defenses. That's exactly how a speedrunner wants to go. Okay, so right now, okay, I forgot about something. I'm gonna have to sell a little bit more items. Alright, so the other reason why I want to reset, why I call this split reset, is because when you enter the shop area, the items that they're gonna sell are completely dependent on the type of Digimon you are and your level, so that never changes. However, for each individual item on this list, there's a random chance for it to have mods, and if it does, how many mods it has. So you might get super lucky and get it first try, which is like world record RNG, nice, we got something relatively fast. Or you might have to reset a bunch of times the area, like keep going in and out of the area just to get the item that we want. In this run, we only had to reset once. I think in my PB, I had to reset twice, so it's gonna be like a couple of seconds time save. Luckily for us, it only took us 1 reset, because it could have taken like 12, and then we're wasting 7 minutes because RNG, right game? We're gonna go to the Digilab because in this game, to equip better items, you have to go to a to equip better weapons, you have to go to a specific shop. You can't just equip it on the fly. While we're at it, we're also gonna unequip the Crush Arm, which comes stock for our Digimon, but we're never gonna see it. Alright, so I saved roughly 35 seconds. You guys can't see it, but just trust me. Yeah, so now we get the double rapier. It looks a lot more menacing than the stab dagger, but that's fine. While we're at it, we're also gonna stop by the bank real quick, deposit the stab dagger and the crush arm that we want to equip. The reason for this is because one, it frees inventory slot, and two, because we cannot sell those weapons to get money. So we're gonna do a second grind section, and we want to have as many slots as possible because we have a limit on how many items we can carry. We want to have as many slots as possible to just sell again to get more money again and do the same thing over and over. Anyway, we got the double rapier. This weapon is absolutely broken. How can I put it? Like, the stab dagger had the property of, like, it attacked extremely fast, as you guys saw it, but the damage was abysmal, and the range was absolutely awful. It's like, it's terrible to get used to it. It's really, really bad. The double rapier, however, fixes both of that. It has very good damage. It's not as high as, say, an axe, but it's still, like, very high. It attacks just as fast as a stab dagger. It attacks twice per swing, and not only that, it also has the same, like, fast attack speed. Oh, I'm sorry. It has the same, it has a big range. So, this weapon is absolutely rigged. In fact, it's so rigged that unless we get super duper lucky and get another weapon with mods, we're just gonna use this for the rest of the game. I'm not counting on getting anything better. If I do, obviously I'm going for it, but if not, this is the weapon for the rest of the game. Outside of this one section that's coming up right now. So, did I equip the beast board? Did I equip the beast board? Oh. Okay, do I waste a couple of seconds going into the menu and check? But then if I didn't, then it's gonna save me time. Or do I just YOLO it? I think I wanna YOLO it. This section is a bit obnoxious, by the way. Cambos, if you can't hear anything, is it my microphone being too low? Or game being too high, or both? Because I can change my mic on the fly. But before that, this is actually supposedly the first boss of the run. But here it comes in a mini boss form. Unfortunately, whoops, I messed up the strat. That's fine, because normally this guy goes 1-2, 1-2, it's dead. Oh well. Alright, sounds fine. That's good to know. Okay, data. Yeah. Okay, story time. As I said, a team was sent to investigate the Death Valley area, but the team never came back. While we were investigating ourselves, we actually found Chief Leomon, but we didn't find the rest of the team. So that's what this minigame is about. In a casual playthrough, you're supposed to save these. You don't actually have to, you could just ignore them, and so long as you get to the end, you can move on. In a speedrun, however, we have to save one very specific Digielf. And I'm gonna explain about it once I get to it. For now, I'm just gonna shut up and make sure that I saved it. Also, you're gonna see the shot pistol right here, and hopefully never again in the run. Alright, saved. If we didn't save this one Digielf, we have a backup plan, but I don't actually know what the backup plan is, because it's extremely rare that I miss it. Okay, now because this is an auto-scroller section, we might as well just kill as many enemies as we possibly can and get a little bit of extra experience. Enemies here give very few, but because we don't have anything better to do, we might as well just go for that. There's also an out of bounds in this section, but there's no setup for it. We know it's possible, and I have done it myself in the past, but, like, I don't know how to do it. I tried, I didn't get it. If I got it, it would have saved, like, what, 2 minutes on this auto-scroller, because we could then just go out of bounds and move to the very end. Oh well, we didn't, that's fine. Yeah, enjoy the auto-scroller. Fun fact, you can actually block this door, even if you're far away. Like, it makes absolutely no sense, but it's possible. You might also see that I'm dealing 60 points of damage. Yeah, that's because I have proper items. Whereas previously I was dealing what? 15? 17-ish? Alright. Yeah, enjoy the auto-scroller, guys. I hope you're having a good time. So long as I don't die, this is not really gonna waste much time. Holy cow, that was a critical hit. 98 points of damage. That's actually more than I'm gonna do for the rest of the run. Outside of one thing in particular. Now, I can actually say, okay, back to the damage formula thing. It's 6 times your strength plus 4 times your proficiency divided by enemy's defense. There's also a hidden item in the formula in which, like, if an enemy has, like, if you have an elemental chip attached to it, you can, it increases your damage. So, for example, let's say that an enemy has 20% resistance to thunder, then your damage is increased by 80%. Let's say that an enemy has 50% resistance, then your damage is increased by 50%. It's absolutely ridiculous, and your damage, like, it really skyrockets if you have an elemental chip equipped. That's why mods are so important, because you wanna have like that elemental bonus. Enemy, at the very worst, enemies are gonna have like a 20% bonus at the very least, and sometimes it's even 90%. Another thing, just stay in the front of the boat, because you hit the spawn zone a second faster than if you would stay at the back. Right. So, this is like the end of the auto-scroller. You're gonna see me do something very interesting. Yes, this game is multiplayer. Block, just destroy them. Go here. You're gonna see me right here that I'm gonna purposefully remove this, the thunder chip and put the speed chip. And as I just explained, like, chips skyrocket your damage, like elemental chips. So you might be wondering, wait, why are you reducing the damage? It's back to the very same thing that I was talking about at the very beginning of the run with the Numemon. If you deal too strong of a hit, enemies are gonna go through a huge period of knockback in which they're gonna be invincible, and you just have to wait for them to get back on their feet. So to avoid that, it's preferable to do 3-hit kill on enemies rather than doing 2 hits because of that knockback period. So we purposefully reduce our damage in order to hit that magical 3-hit range. I'm only doing this because I have all the proper items. If I didn't have them, I would just keep the speed chip, the thunder chip anyway. But because I got everything that I was supposed to, I can do the perfect strats. And while we're at it, we're also gonna take, because we have that one mod slot, we're gonna put the speed chip that increases the chance for us to attack enemies and then not blocking. So it just works out perfectly. It's like really, really good. Yeah. This strat's actually gonna come into play later down the road, and it's actually gonna be a little bit of a more advanced variation, but I'm gonna explain it in more detail once I get there. For now, we're just gonna do this dungeon. It's actually pretty convenient that we have the damage formula so that we can calculate all of those values and know, okay, I should go into this to get 3-hit kill, or I should rather not equip this item or equip this other one. I'm actually working on a reroute of this game that reduces the grind and makes it much more difficult and not marathon safe at all, but that route is not even ready, let alone be marathon safe, so we're gonna go with the strats that we currently have. But just know that I am trying to make the grind go, not grind as much. It's probably gonna be a bad idea, and I'm probably gonna die every time, but I'm doing my best to save time. All in the name of speed. Who needs consistency? I should also mention that I'm getting, I got the level up a little bit earlier than I was supposed to. No, I didn't explain why I am playing with Gilmon. I am going to explain it later though. Don't worry. Just assume that Gilmon is the only choice. For now, just like Gilmon's the only choice. It's actually a fun story. because when I was first rounding this game, I thought that Agumon was the absolute best, and it turns out that it's the absolute worst one. But I kept saying that no, Agumon is better, and the world record holder is right. At the time, the world record was with a dude that made a 22-hour run, and by the estimate, you can see how outdated this is. And the guy actually used Gilmon, and I used to say, no, the world record dude is always right. And so I got world record with Agumon, and then I was able to prove that Agumon was the best. And then I realized how stupid I was, and then started running with Gilmon. I'm gonna explain why I run Gilmon later though, because like there's a reason for it. Yes, 22-hour run. The reason for that is because one, he was using the PS2, and the PS2 has roughly 25 seconds load screens, where GameCube has 8 and emulator has 6. So that explains part of it. There's also the fact that the guy kept dying over and over and over and over. Oops, sorry for bumping the mic. And over and over and over again, and then wasted a bunch of time. Like, don't worry, 22 hours is a meme. It's such a meme, in fact, that I did a run in which I did any percent and then did the full hard mode, no glitches pretty much. And still got it 9 hours from a fresh start. So 22 hours is a meme, guys. 22 hours is a meme. Don't worry about it. I should have actually submitted signature weapon percent. It's a 9-hour estimate, by the way. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for signature weapon percent whenever we can, in a future marathon. Actually, I think I'm gonna do that as a 200 follower special, so yeah. Okay, usually you can get past those Ogremons by just walking straight. Didn't work this time around, that's fine. No big deal. These enemies right here, they have a tendency to drop mod slots. Like, if I didn't get them by the start of the run, this would be a good place to get. Luckily though, I already have everything I need, so I'm not gonna have to worry about that. I should also mention that they dropped a fire chip. And there are 4 elements in this run, actually in this game. Ice, fire, thunder, and dark. And ironically, the fire one is the only chip that is not ever gonna be used in a run. And these enemies drop it, because why not, right? Okay. Alright. While I'm at it, I should also explain about the boss that's coming up, because when I'm doing the boss, I'm gonna have to focus. Ideally, I'm gonna have a commentator for me, but because no one else runs this game and knows about it, I'm gonna have to explain the boss in advance, and then you guys are gonna have to keep it in mind. The boss has 3 attacks that it can do. It can just spin around and throw a bunch of flames, and if he does that, like, that attack is kind of okay. It's not the preferred one, but it's fine if it does that. It has an attack in which it summons a bunch of chains, and those chains try to get you. That's the preferred attack. If we, like, obviously it's RNG, but that's the one we want. And then it has a third attack in which he just, like, he goes forward and does a kind of a Kamehameha on you and tries to freeze you. That's actually really bad, and we have to defend. Now, the thing is that by looking at him, taking audio cues, and looking at your movement, you can actually predict which attack he's gonna do before he does it. There's also a little bit of a wiggle because his sprite kind of flickers right before doing an attack. So there's that. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it on stream, but just assume that I can see it, and that's why I'm gonna be focused and not saying anything during the fight itself. That's why I'm explaining it in advance as well, so that you can guys try to like, so that you can try to see if you notice it. If not, that's fine. Just assume that I know what's gonna do. I'm also gonna try to do my best so that when he does the freeze attack, I'm gonna try to state it in advance. At any rate, what you're supposed to do is destroy a bunch of iron balls around him, and then if you do that, it enables a second phase, but we're gonna do another strat that I can't really explain because the boss is coming. Also, another thing is that I'm gonna re-equip the Thunder Chip because this boss has a massive health pool, and it turns out that his weakness is the Thunder Chip, so there's that. In fact, that's why we bought the Thunder Chip in the first place. We would have bought it later anyway, but that's the main priority exactly because of this boss. By the way, shoutouts to Digimon World 1. We don't need Evos to defeat this guy. Also appreciate the music. It's pretty good, IMO. He's gonna freeze. Chain attack. Freeze. Whoops. Alright. Okay, I messed up the start of the fight a little bit, but that's fine. I keep messing up because my controller is weird. It's moving me to places that it's not supposed to. Alright. I lost 10 seconds, that's fine. This fight went a little bit bad. It's really this one. I could have saved a little bit of time. So, normally you're supposed to destroy all 5 iron balls that are surrounding him, and when you do that, it changes into the second phase, in which the chains just keep hitting you on the lower platform, and he goes outside of the middle and starts walking around and just doing very nasty attacks. If we were to unlock the second phase, I bet I wouldn't be able to do it myself. In fact, I would need to be level 13 to have a chance to beat this guy, and I'm 9, so that's pretty bad. But ever since a friend of mine, like, we were is the stream. Am I dead? Maybe I'm gonna keep ever since that guy found this strat. Yeah, there's that. Dead? Maybe I'm gonna keep what? I mean, I see you. Right here is another section in which I could go for shopping. Like, I don't actually you know what, let's just do it. Let's see, did we get good RNG? Story time. We defeated a Pokemon. Our chief is like, good job. And then the virus is like, rawr. And we're like, oh no. And the virus is, rawr. And we're like, okay, we have to defend ourselves. Go trigger a bunch of switches to get the protection system. I'm gonna buy the dog chip right now that I didn't buy earlier. That's why I didn't buy it, because I had another chance right here during this section of the run. So coming up next, there's actually a fun thing. The music might stop in this next section. And if the game crashes, the music can stop. So let's hope for that not to happen. Unfortunately, this part has a tendency for it to happen, so I mean, I do have a save file in case this happens, but like, let's hope for it not to happen, because this run is actually pretty good. Come on. Ah, okay, good. The music didn't stop, that's fine. Here's the deal. In this section, if you do it a bit too fast, the music's gonna stop and the cutscene is gonna play silent. Even through this loading zone, it's still gonna play silent. Now, this doesn't waste time, this doesn't like, the game's gonna run fine. As soon as this next fanfare that's gonna show up in about now, as soon as this fanfare plays, the music just comes back and it's fine. But, I mean, it's kind of fun. Like, it's a glitch that doesn't save time, but it doesn't cost time either, so we might as well just go for it and have a little bit of fun. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous to have fun in a speedrun. Like, this is supposed to be blood, tears, RNG, reset, salt. But yeah, you know, just that little bit of fun, if you can get it, it's good. Let's see. I'm gonna stop by the healing pod for a second there, just to heal up. And there we go. Second area of the game, Death Valley. This is where we're gonna do the second grinding section. And if you guys want to get some popcorn, hang in for about like 5 more minutes in which I explain a couple of stuff. And then after that you can just go take a drink. If you wanna have to go do grocery shopping, like your mom just saying, hey, go buy me a piece of bread, this would be a good time because we're gonna be spending roughly 50 minutes here in this grinding section. So it's a good time to take a break if you've been waiting for breaks on this marathon. So yeah. But anyway, this is Dryland. What can I say about it? Rip headphones. The place that we want to grind in is actually not here, is on this next area. Yes, 50 as in 50. I mean, it's still a lot better than the 22-hour run or the 8-hour run that I did in the past, okay? Just trust me. Remember that I was saying about that thing in which you was like, you know, I'm trying to cut down the grind? Yeah, that's the reason why I want to do. Charge attack from the far. Whoops, I missed your charge attack because I went a little bit too hasty. Whatever. But yeah, if you want to grab some popcorn, this is the right place. Just stick around for 5 more minutes because I'm going to explain a couple of stuff here. As to why we grind right at this spot. I've actually got a Battle Hawk, that's okay. Alright. So right here, I'm gonna unequip the Thunder Chip and actually equip the Dark Chip. The reason for that is the same as I've been explaining throughout the whole game. It's to make sure that these little scorpion things die in 3 hits instead of dying in 2. Because if I was to use the Thunder Chip, they would die in 2 hits. So we purposefully reduce our damage right here. It also helps that these Mummymon, which we would not be able to do 2-hit or 3-hit anyway, they're also weak to darkness, so it just helps out to get, to have it. I'm gonna heal. These guys are dealing a lot more damage than they should. This grind is absolutely awful in the beginning, but it's gonna get better, trust me. Let's see. Right. Come on. What else do I have to say? Okay. I see some questions. I'm gonna try to just level up. That's good. I was almost running out of health. I'm actually not liking this grind, but that's fine. The reason why we grind here, there are multiple ones. The first one is that you may see that there are just enemies spawning like all the time. As long as this tower stays up, these enemies are gonna keep spawning to a maximum of 120 of them. After I kill 120 of these guys, the tower is gonna blow up. Though we're not gonna let that happen. Enemies are gonna stop spawning and then the tower is gonna blow up. Now, the other reason why we grind here is because, because enemies are spawning, we don't have to waste time just going to places. They just spawn all around us, so that's a good thing. What else? Let's see. Oh yeah, there's also the fact that these enemies give relatively high amount of experience for how easy they are to kill. And there's actually other reasons to grind in this specific spot, but I'm gonna go over them once we actually get to the point where they matter. For now, let's try to answer a couple of questions. When did you start running this one? Good question. About a year and a half ago, maybe a full year, something like that. Yeah, I think a year and a half. What else? Yeah, I think I have the board installed. By the amount of damage that they're dealing to me, I have it. What else? 250. Okay, 255. It's actually the console PB that I did on an actual Wii, but that PB is kind of outdated because I did improve strats a little bit. My actual PB on emulator is 234, and because we're running on emulator right now, you should rather just look as 234. That 234 is not on speedrun.com because I was using custom textures when I did it, because I was just doing it for funsies, and I actually ended up getting quote-unquote world record. But because I was using custom texture pack that you're not supposed to have, I can't actually submit it. On the flip side though, I did get a 238 in practice this past week, so consider that as like the true PB for the time being. What kind of bread should I get from my mom right now? If possible, get hot dog bread or hamburger bread, because it's been a while since I've eaten one of those. Actually, I lie, I just ate hamburger for my lunch, but don't mind. What else? Like, for now I'm just randomly killing these enemies. It's gonna get a little bit better, but because we are kind of low on levels and we don't have the speed chip equipped, I'm kind of just killing enemies as I go. It's gonna get a certain rhythm going, and I'm gonna explain it once I actually get to that point. For now I'm gonna shut up for a little bit and allow you guys to just go get your water. Come on, you have like 2 minutes roughly before I explain more stuff. Yeah, hot dog bread. That's because there's... Okay, you can get... I don't know the name of it in English. We call it... Like, there's a slang for it, which is half. Like, in this specific part of Brazil that I'm in, you can say half, and they're gonna understand that's, like, regular bread. You could also say common bread in some parts of Brazil, and they would understand it. I guess French bread is the name? Question mark? I want to avoid those puddles because those puddles poison you, and poison is absolutely the worst thing ever in this game, and we want to avoid it as much as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna safety heal, even though I should probably just YOLO it because I'm about to get a level up. You also notice me doing like killing enemies, like them go start from scratch. You also see me hitting enemies and then go flying. That's because even though on average, okay, never mind. Yeah, Static. You could go for that. Is there another way to call it that I'm not aware of? No, I mean, I'm actually, believe it or not, I was born in the Amazon jungle, but right now I live in the southern part of Brazil, so there's that. And you can start making your jokes about living in the trees and such right now, if you want. I don't really mind. I actually find it kinda cute. Okay, so right now you're gonna see me unequip the dark metal and re-equip the speed chip. The reason for that is once we hit level 12, we actually get to the point where on average we're doing 2 hit kills instead of 3 hit kills. It's not a precise number, but on average it's unfavorable, so we unequip it. Whoops. There's also other things, but for now, you notice that I'm doing something. At level 12, we get a new skill that's actually a debuff, the Petit Power Down, and what it does is that it decreases enemies' defense and their offenses, so it's like pretty good. The reason why I'm spamming it on these guys is that we want to train this technique so that it becomes stronger and the debuff becomes more powerful for the late game. For now, it's not very impressive. It's like about a 10% increase in damage for us, but later on it's going to be pretty important. So, like, this is the reason why this place is so good to grind. Because each time you have to go into the dungeon, remember that I said that there's a limit on 120 of these enemies? Yeah, once you get to 120, you just go inside the dungeon and outside, and that refreshes the counter, and then more spawns. Not only that, the mummy mons to the side also refresh, so then you can just gather 5 of these scorpions and 6 of these mummy mons, and then just spam the 4 stack on 11 enemies at once to train it as fast as possible. This is why this place is just so good to grind. But back into the 4-stack, the way you upgrade it is by just spamming it on enemies. And we're gonna do this all throughout the grind. It also helps that within each level up, our mana is gonna get completely refilled, so then we can spam the technique over and over again. So like, we're gonna do this, like, it's hard to explain, but this is absolutely an amazing spot. It's 100% uncontested. You're gonna see later that, spoilers, we don't actually need to visit this place. We can actually complete the game without visiting Dryland ever. But because this place is just so good to grind, we actually take those 20 minutes investment to unlock Dryland just so that we can grind in this spot. But yeah. As I was saying, at level 12, we get exactly to the point in which, like, we having no elemental metal equipped is just enough to get 3 hit kills instead of 4 hits. And since we have the extra slot to equip the speed chip, this turns out to be a perfect strat on just swapping your chips and maximizing your damage output. What else? Yeah, I guess this is it for now, guys. Have your 10-minute breaks and start asking your questions if you want. I'm willing to grind like a couple of seconds lower than just answer questions in the chat. This is a marathon, we might as well. For context, we're 3 minutes and 45 seconds behind right now. I can save like a minute, not a minute. I can say like 30 seconds on this grind, but I'm expecting to lose 10 or 20, so it's fine. Does your dude ever digivolve? Okay, that's actually a good question. Anyone, remember that I said in the very beginning that if you know anything about Digimon, just forget about it all because this game uses swords, this game we're not gonna digivolve, and this game has no humans? Yeah, I guess that answers your question. We are not gonna digivolve, and the reason for that is because if you digivolve, the new Digimon is gonna start at level 1, so all the grinding effort is just gonna be wasted. And besides, like, the Digimon that we would unlock, they don't even have better stats. Like, yeah, sure, they have a little more attack, and that's it. But they don't have the power down debuff that we have. So even if we could digivolve at the same level, unless it would be one of the Digi-evolutions for very hard mode, which is like level 120-ish, it would not be worth it. What's the world record of this? If you want to go by console times, it's 255, but it's kind of outdated. I know I can improve it to 240. If you want to go by emulator, which is what I run on, it's 234, like, unofficially 234. On speedrun.com it's a 238. My PB, like, I'm the only one that ever plays this game, so everything is just my times. I can monopolize the leaderboards. And in fact, I'm trying to convince the super mods of the Digimon series to give me mod for this game so that I can alter the rules to say, we use emulator because emulator is even faster, deal with it. But unfortunately, I couldn't get to do that by now. If you haven't, like, gotten it, I actually think, like, if it's faster, then we should run emulator. I know it's kind of an unpopular opinion, and the viewership probably just dropped by half right now, just for me saying that, but that's personally how I feel about it. And I have no shame of admitting it. For this run, like, if I actually said we have to run an emulator, and the people that were organizing the marathon said it's fine. If they didn't, I would not have run this game. I guess I could find a console. Actually, no, I can't find a console to run on. But yeah, there's that. Enjoy the run. What's your best in cook recipe? Okay, this is actually something called farofa. No! Okay. I got distracted talking to you, chat. Thanks a lot, guys. I blew up the tower. Expect 2 minutes time lost, by the way. I should have noticed that enemies were not spawning anymore. I kind of got distracted. I'm sorry, guys. That's fine. So, the way to refresh that tower, we're gonna save the game, we're gonna quit the game, and then we're gonna reload the game. And then we have, the tower's gonna be back up. So, good job, guys. You did it. That's fine though, we're still way ahead of the schedule. I'm predicting what? We can get a 245, I'm expecting. Like, if the run goes well, we can actually get faster than that, but I'm expecting 245. We're gonna go for crit me. Done saving, and the game. there are actually other spots in which we could grind, and even though it's a 2-minute time loss to just go and reset the tower, it's too worth it rather than grinding in other places. That's fine though, that's fine. Everything is taken into account. Just for reference, it has been months ever since I destroyed the tower, so good job chat, you did it. You screwed me up. Thanks a lot. No. You bet it that I am doing farofa again. It's actually a pretty simple recipe. You just put like a tennis ball size of, okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but like you put a bunch of butter, you put a bunch of chopped onions, or rather slice, I don't know the proper name. Anyway, it's like small pieces of onion. You put like just one little bit of salt just to give the right point. If your butter has salt in it, you just put a little bit. If it doesn't, you just add more, and then after that you just let the onions grill for a little bit, and then you just yeah, and then you just put the flour. Actually, to get it good, you need a special type of flour that you can realistically only get in the northern part of the country. Like, my family has found substitutes that can kinda work, but it's not really the same thing because the type of flour is very, very different. Anyway, charge attack from afar. There we go. I kind of feel awful for destroying the tower. It has been months since I've done that, but it's fine. We're back on track. Why did I destroy that obstacle? I don't know. No, you just cook it for like a little bit. You let the flour, like, I'm sorry. You let the, oh, by the way, kill those torches because it reduces lag. Actually, I should talk about the game first. I'm gonna go about cooking in a little second. If you look at the stream, you might see, like, if you're using the 60 FPS version, you might see that the frame rate is dipping a little bit. No, it's not your stream. No, it's not my internet. No, it's not my emulator. This is actually the game lagging if you just spam the technique on too many enemies at once. Obviously you guys can't see my PC, but both GPU and CPU usage are pretty low. So it's like, it's really the game engine. Even on console it lags a bit worse actually, but I guess it kind of makes it good. I'm guessing it's because it's doing maths and how much it must reduce enemies or something like that. I don't know, I just know it lags. It lags really bad. Oh, yeah, on PS2 is absolutely awful. The frame rate probably dips into single digits. On a Wii, it just gets a little bit blurry. Right, so back to killing enemies. And talking about cooking strats. Shoutouts to Bakba Soup if you guys understand the reference. Alright, so maybe I should talk about this grind section a little bit. It might seem like I'm randomly killing enemies, but at this point in time, I'm actually paying attention. And by actually paying attention, I'm not really paying attention, as you guys have seen. Kappa. Bible Thump. But at each point in time, I'm looking, okay, I'm killing this enemy, and then the next enemy that I'm gonna be killing is the one to my left, or maybe the one to my bottom. I'm actively thinking of that, and while I'm hitting an enemy, I'm looking for maybe the fact that I may have hit another enemy. So I should move on to that one because it has lower health and thus it's gonna be faster to kill. And then I'm at all the times thinking maybe I should wait for the next enemy, maybe I should move there. I know that this guy is gonna spawn down at the bottom, and I know that he's coming, I know the path he's gonna take. So like, this might seem random to a viewer, and with like, you're actually doing stuff as a speedrunner. You know that you're gonna go 1-2, 1-2, enemies are dead, if they don't block you, that is. So you're actively trying to look for enemies to kill as fast as possible. That's why as a speedrunner, I prefer this grind a lot more than the first one, because like, you're actively doing stuff all the time. You're not just mindlessly mashing the buttons. There's also the fact that the first grind, there's a chance in which if you don't get good RNG, the run's gonna die, and these enemies may actually kill you in the first grinding section. Whereas in this, you already have a run going, it's just a matter of finishing it. Realistically, these enemies cannot kill you if you're paying attention. These enemies die a lot faster, you don't have to worry about refreshing the screens too much. You do have to worry. Hashtag the tower blew up. But like, it's much more enjoyable. I know that it's twice as long, and generally people don't like grinding, but in this case it's much better than the other one. Like, trust me. Alright, so I'm gonna shut up for a little bit. I know that I said that a couple of times already, but this time is for real. So if you guys wanna do something, I'm not really gonna explain anything else for a little while. Let's see what time we're at. You can come back in around 1:45, and then you're gonna see me moving on. Oh yeah, there's also... Okay, did I mention that this game has no invincibility frames and then enemies can just combo you to death? Yeah. Sometimes this happens. On the flip side, enemies have no invincibility frames either, so there's that. Okay, questions. I'm gonna ignore anyone that's using @Fire1520 just because I don't want to blow up the tower again. I saw a question, to which point I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna grind up until level 22. So just look for that. I mean, but as soon as I get level 22, I'm just gonna immediately get out of here. So there's, don't think that I'm gonna spend much more time than that. Hi, Green Bean. I'm looking at you. I'm totally ignoring you. Hi, Lycan. Okay, this is just gonna become @Fire1520. I can already see it coming. What's so important about level 22? It's the cap to get the proficiency level that we get. Funnily enough, I'm trying to reroute the game so that we don't have to rely on level 22. And if so, we might run it at level 21, perhaps 20, or maybe even 19. We don't really know. As I said, the reroute is not ready yet. Is playing on Wii faster than GameCube? I have no idea because I've never actually gotten a GameCube to play it on. I only ever tested load times on a Wii. By the way, kill those torches right there because it reduces lag a little bit. Not by much, but a little bit is like something. So again, group up all these enemies and then spam the technique. The Xbox version is a myth, Sid, and you know that. Okay, so there's a joke in the community, and by the community, understand that me, pretty much, because no one else runs this game outside of... Okay, maybe the 10 or so people that actually watch my runs will get that joke. But I've seen people that have the Xbox version of this game, and I have seen people that have the Xbox, but I've never seen anyone that actually has both at the same time to help me test load times to see if the Xbox is actually faster or not, or if there are different, any sort of difference in the versions. Yeah, I'm sorry, like, look, no one wants to run this game because everyone thinks this game is absolutely awful. People just see first place 8 hours before I updated it to 255, and then see second place 22 hours and they go like, nope. People also think that this game is bad, and while I'm the first to admit that this game has a lot of flaws, this game is extremely fun. Trust me. It's like, I know this is not a very popular opinion amongst people that played it. I saw a let's play of it, and like, I was taking enjoyment of how much the guy absolutely hated the game. Maybe I'm not a very good person, like, but okay, I should not have said that. Yeah, unfortunately, no other people run this game. Yes, this is not Digimon World 3, but on the very least, it's a lot faster to do a run than Digimon World 3. Casually speaking, this game is actually, like, if you play with friends, this is absolutely a blast. With that said, I never played it with friends, like, originally, so Bible fun for me. I also played on the PS2 version, 25-second load screens, and my PS2 is kinda bad, and it freezes from time to time, so more Bible thumbs for me, but I still, like, had a blast playing this game. That's why I speedrun it. In fact, the only reason why I speedrun this is because no one else was running it, and I thought, you know what, I might as well just try it myself. And then I found a bunch of different glitches, and I came up with so many strats that, like, I don't regret my decision. I don't run this game very often anymore, because again, I'm more focused on routing to try and improve it rather than doing actual runs. But I still have a blast playing it to this day. Even if it's more fun with playing with friends, I still have a blast playing it on my own. What else do I have to say about it? Okay, so I should mention something real quick. One of the things that we're gonna be grinding for in this section is money. We're gonna pick up as many items as possible. That's actually another reason why this place is so good, because these enemies drop armor pieces which are worth roughly 320 a pop. A little more, a little less depending on the specific item. Like 300 is quite a lot for this point in the game, so the fact that these enemies drop them is actually pretty good. Now, you might also see me, like, you might also see drops from time to time, and yet I'm not getting them. The reason for that is we're gonna spend so much time here that eventually our inventory is gonna get full anyway, so it's not worth to take, even if a second or so, to go get an item. For example, this one down there, it's not worth for me to get it. I would rather just get an item while I'm killing something else and on the way there. So for example, it's hard to find instances, but if one of the enemies drops like right in the middle, while I'm moving on my way to kill another enemy, if I pass by an item, sure, I'm gonna get it. If not, I'm not gonna bother, because I know my inventory is gonna get full by the end anyways. Let's see. Okay, my instincts are telling me that this grind is going kinda slow, because I'm not really so much focusing on the grind itself and more to make the run fun. I absolutely don't regret this decision, but you can kind of see how difficult it is to commentate this game. There's absolutely nothing happening here. Like, we're just killing enemies, we're going in, we're going out, and that's it. Like, we're killing enemies. Sounds fun? Yeah. So much fun to watch. It's like, trust me, it's actually fun to do, alright? Trust me. Trust me. Can I load a backup save? I don't know if I have a backup save. I might have a save state though. Does that count? Again, cue those torches to remove lag. Okay, so another thing is that I also look for items. Double Rapier is an item that's worth kind of enough that we should pick it. If it was something else, say a Longsword or Battle Hawk, I would not have gotten it, because I would rather have my inventory carry more valuable items for when I'm selling them. Yeah, I may or may not have a backup save. I think I have a backup save either at level 21 or at level 19. I don't know by this point in time because I've reset my save state so many times already. Oh, okay, fun fact, while I was doing a practice attempt, the cord on my controller actually bumped one of the save state buttons and it screwed up the practice attempt. So ever since then, I made sure to make a profile on emulator so that this would never happen ever again in the middle of a run. So don't worry guys, even if I hit the save state buttons, it's fine. I also made sure to remove the reset and pause hotkeys, like to make sure that the run doesn't die. It's all about experience. And bad experience for that matter. Okay, so remember that I said about not going out of your way to pick items? With bits, it's a different story because it's raw money, so you can carry as much of it as possible. So if I see bits drop, I'm gonna go for that. With items, I'm not gonna bother, but with bits, that's like absolutely worth it. Granted, I don't need all that much because I already have all the money that I want. Actually, I want more to buy potentially good items if I happen to get it, but anyway. Ooh, data. Okay, I should probably explain data. Data is a special type of currency in this game. Casually speaking, it's a very rare drop, and if you get it, it's really good. On a speedrun, it's almost worthless, unless we can get to 60 points of data. If we get to 60, then we can actually make use of it. If not, then all the data that we've collected, it's absolutely worthless. So let's hope that we get 55 just for the cap run. There's also a limit at which point we can get data, because very late enemies can also drop like copious amounts of data. But unfortunately, by the time we get to those enemies, we're never going back to the base and we're almost finishing the run. So that's useless data if we happen to get it, unless we die and then. Okay, let's not go over that. Right, so Gilmon. The reason for Gilmon is because of the power down technique that I mentioned earlier. It's really the sole reason. You guys are not gonna realize how strong the technique is until I get to the point of actually fully upgrading it. But just as a little bit of a spoiler section, if you fully upgrade, you basically deal 5 times your damage within each hit. Let me say this again. You multiply your damage by 5 if you pick Gilmon. Does that sound worth it to you? I thought so. That's why we picked Gilmon. No other Digimon comes even close to it. It also helps, although this is not a primary reason, it also helps that Gilmon's specialty is stab, which IMO, it's the best type of weapon to run with. Someone could prove me wrong, but I am pretty sure that stab is by far the best weapon. And Gilmon just happens to have it, so that's a plus. The fact that it has stab, like, it doesn't increase your damage or do anything in particular. The only thing that being a stab specialist does is make it so that shops sell stab weapons more than other weapons. And because we want to rely on the shop, we have to rely on the shop to actually get the weapons that we want. It also comes as a bonus. Although, like, if Gilmon was using instead of stab, it was using, say, swords, we would probably use swords. Although we don't have to worry about it. Like, Gilmon is by far the best Digimon ever. The only instance in which Gilmon is not all that great is in New Game Plus. Because in New Game Plus, you can actually just one-hit kill enemies regardless of your Digimon. So you might as well just run with Agumon, weirdly enough. Because it has a superior MP technique. That's kind of ironic that the best Digimon for any percent, I'm sorry, the worst Digimon for any percent is also the best for New Game Plus. So, Agumon fans, rejoice. Granted, New Game Plus is a meme. No one's ever gonna run it. Don't think about it. You wanna get world record? It's yours. It's free. Okay, the tower is about to blow up, so let's refresh the count. No, I was never level 20 actually. Yeah, it also helps that Gilmon is one of my favorite Digimon. It's not my favorite, It's actually Alphamon, but Gilmon is up there as well, so there we go. Neat Magnet is good, Brave Core is good. I should also kill this torch because it reduces lag. I'm gonna heal up just to be safe. It also helps that within each level up, our mana is completely refilled, so we can just spam the technique over and over again. That's also a good plus. We don't have to waste healing discs refilling our mana. We can just rely on level ups. Now, there is a possibility that we're not gonna get enough proficiency by the end when our mana runs out. If that happens, that's fine. I can just use a couple of healing discs and I'm usually gonna get it. But more often than not, I'm gonna get enough and I don't have to worry about it. Now you may see that our damage is already starting to get kind of strong. We normally deal 50 points and now we're dealing 91 when the technique is up. So you can already see that the technique is getting stronger. That said, it is going to get a lot stronger later on. I wonder if I'm still in the Discord call for the setup channel, now that I think about it. Huh. Yeah, you get a lot of free time. I'm sorry. You get a lot of free time when grinding here. Also take care to not get too close to the tower and accidentally hit it. Okay, thanks. Yeah, there's that. Because if you hit the tower twice, it's gonna blow up, and then we're gonna have to refresh it again, and that's gonna be loads of fun, so let's try not to do that. For now, I'm gonna be a little bit risky because it can still take one more hit. It can still take 2 hits, but if I ever hit it once, then I'm gonna stay as far away from it as possible. Level up, not much farther. Yeah, it's actually gonna be a little bit more than 50 minutes because of that screw up at the beginning. And because of the fact that I'm not really paying as much attention as I normally would. That's actually the good thing about being a very not known streamer at all. There's barely anyone in chat, so because there's no one chatting to me, I can actually focus on running. I mean, I'd rather have people around, but like, thanks Twitch chat, I love you guys. Add me some more. But yeah, I expect to lose 3 minutes here. You guys are not gonna be able to see it, but I am keeping track of splits on my own, and I can keep you guys updated. Okay, so funnily enough, in New Game Plus, you could use one of the evolutions. But even still, we use Agumon anyway. So that's like, well, evolutions are worthless in this game. I'm pretty sure someday is gonna do like all evolutions category, and that person is gonna take like 20 hours to do it, and that person is probably gonna be me because I'm crazy. But come on. Okay, so I should talk about evolutions for a little while, just because I have absolutely nothing better to do. That's what happens when you run this game. In easy mode, or rather normal mode, we can digivolve, we can do side quests and unlock evolutions. No, we don't get evolutions by leveling up. We only get evolutions by doing side quests. And in normal mode, Gilmon unlocks Hercules Kabutorimon and War Greymon. It doesn't even unlock Dukemon, even though Dukemon is in the game. Gallantmon for the ones that don't know it. But the real name is Dukemon, so go for Dukemon, guys. The Portuguese dub also uses Dukemon, although with a different pronunciation, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna leave that last enemy alive, it's fine. Just gonna refresh the tower right now. Not gonna risk killing the other one as well. Also, I'm gonna open up a window because it's hot AF in here. Alright, let's go loading screens. And there we go. Kamikirimaru is a bad item, I'm not gonna get it. You don't need to pay too much attention to this, but you might as well just get a little bit of extra money if you can. If you're aware of paying attention to items. You know, German dub is actually pretty, I've never seen it ever, so there's that. You know, I also thought about taking off my pants because it's hot AF. Like, the day started extremely cold, but now it's really hot. So I'm thinking of taking my pants off. I probably should not have said that, but it's fine. Craigasm. I also enjoy the sounds of motorcycles. I don't know if you guys can pick it up, but if you can, enjoy the sounds of motorcycles. I'm only missing car games now. Yes, I'm on fire right now. You can use your... Oh, I should rather say Kappa Pride. Nah, that's okay. Craigasm was gonna do it. Okay, keeping up with the fiery puns, after a little while of this grinding, you kinda get like, you turn off, and you go on autopilot mode, and then you go out of steam. Yeah, all of that was just to make the word steam into the fiery pun. Puns are lit, guys. Puns are lit. Yeah, this is the second grinding section. We're grinding up until level 22. Yeah, I'm burned out after this grind. That's actually a pretty good one. You know, okay, maybe the mods for this game could probably just add the signature weapon category so that we have another category that makes more sense. Well, not more sense, but like, because right now we have New Game Plus, which is absolutely a meme, don't run that. We have any percent, and then we have the co-op versions, but we don't have signature weapon percent, which IMO is kind of a, like, it's a pretty good run, because in any percent we skip a lot of the game because of glitches, and then signature weapon percent, okay, so there could be a glitchless category, which I'm expecting it to be 5.5 hours, maybe 6, if we do it glitchless. But I don't want a glitchless category to be implemented into the leaderboards. Rather, I would have signature weapon percent, because not only because like, okay, you still do glitches because you do a full 80% run, but then you have to defeat all the bosses because that's required to get a signature weapon. So you kind of you get a mixture of both. You get both glitchless because you don't, like, you can't skip anything, and you get 80% at the same time. You also get the bonus of going into hard mode. So like, I would want a signature weapon percent category. For those of you that don't know, signature weapon is a special type of weapon in this game, which you can only get through special means. The way to do it, you have to defeat every single boss in the game without turning off the console. You have to do it on very hard mode. I'm sorry, on hard mode. Gonna leave this guy alive. And you can't turn off your console or save and quit or anything in between killing all of those bosses. If you do that, a special enemy appears in a place where it normally wouldn't, which, by the way, has much better stats than it's supposed to. And if you kill that enemy, which takes a little while, you get a special weapon, which is pretty much, in theory, the best weapon of the game for your specific Digimon. I'm sorry. You get, in theory, what's the best weapon for your Digimon. Each Digimon has its own weapon, and only that specific Digimon can equip it. So if I was to do that challenge with Guilmon, I would get a specific weapon that only Guilmon can use. And each one of the evolutions has its own. That sounds exhausting. Yeah, it's a bit exhausting because you have to grind up until level 67. Well, not 67, actually, I lie, it's roughly around level 60. And you know how we do it? We do any percent, which is just the regular 2 and 40-ish hours. Then we do hard mode, and then we grind here on hard mode, which gives more experience. And we spend, like, I think 1 hour and a half, maybe less, grinding here, but on hard mode. And then you have to do all the bosses. My last run that I actually did this run once as a meme. It actually took 9 hours, but in reality, I bet I could knock it down to 8.5 because that run was really, really bad. Still, it's like, it's comparable to something like Digimon World 3, which is 7 hours. So like, 9 hours is not really that bad. 8.5, I guess. I'm gonna have to make a decision here. How much do I need? 400. I don't like this. Maybe I should not have done what I just did. But whatever. Yeah, you just have to keep the console on. On GameCube, it's not that bad. On PS2, however, it's a freaking nightmare. You're not supposed to do this from a fresh fire. You're supposed to do this when you're many levels above what you should be. And when you're like on very hard mode already and you're doing that, and you decide, you know what, let me get the signature weapon. And then you go for it on hard mode. And you're so much stronger, you have more levels, you have better gear, and all of that stuff. You're not supposed to do it earlier. Oh, I mean, I guess there's not supposed to for a speedrunner. We do whatever we want. We play however we want, we break the game, we do things that are unintended, which sounds like a glitch. Hashtag Mirror's Edge Roast for GGQ, if you guys remember it. I still find that video funny to this day. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that I didn't, like... I'm not losing time yet. I mean, I will be losing time soon, but on my splits, I'm actually not losing time. I'm about to. Alright. Okay, I'm officially losing time now. Let's see how much. I am expecting a 2-minute time loss. Maybe 3. Yeah, I think 3 is more likely. Oops. You know what? Because I'm gonna have to refresh the area anyway, I might as well just do it right now. How much more until... Okay, 1281. That's... Each 2 gives 100. Okay, so I need to kill like 20-ish enemies before I can... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 something. All right, now I'm gonna spend the rest of the mana that I have, kill a bunch of enemies, and then finish them. Oops. Hey, Bastards KD. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah, if you need tips, I made a guide for it. Or just really ask me, because I'm realistically the only one that runs this. So you can just ask me directly. I'm on Discord and I can help you out if you need it. For the time being though, there's the look at the forums and there are a bunch of strats there, including a guide that roughly explains everything that you need to know. There are like the very minor optimizations, such as using block dash in a certain place, do a spin attack in a certain, like those small optimizations that save a second or so are not written in the guide, but most of it is. So you can just look at the strats. Okay, there we go. I lost 3 minutes. Ah, yeah, exactly what I expected. Anyway, the grind section is done. Yes, finally. Guys, get rid of your resident sleepers because the grind is over. Yeah, half of the run is grinding. With that said, we skip over half of the game, so give it a little break for not, like, give it a little break. Anyway, ooh, I forgot about something. Let's do it in reverse. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do, once again, I'm gonna sell everything. Here, okay. Alright, so, unfortunately, this game has no system in which you can sell many items at once, so we just have to button mash as fast as we can. And I'm gonna make sure to do it as close to the microphone as possible to annoy you guys. Okay. Like, sometimes I think that there's a certain rhythm, but other times I just think that the shop is just... it's just laggy. I don't really know. I forgot about a strat that I was supposed to do. That's fine, because... remember that I was saying about items having a random chance to have mods or not? If you have lower stats, the chance is actually higher. We don't have a formula for that, but it is proven that worse stats increase the chance for the game to give you a mod. So I was supposed to go into, before entering this area, unequipping my stuff to reduce my stats and have better chance of getting stuff. But I didn't, that's fine. I'm gonna buy a nice chip because that's the only one that's missing. And this is gonna be it for the rest of the run. We're gonna unequip a bunch of stuff, buy another bunch of stuff, buy mana discs, buy as many MP discs as we can. 7's gonna do fine, and there we go. Okay, now we're gonna do a very interesting trick. The reason why we saved that Digi-Elf at the very beginning comes into play now. In this game, side quests, they take place in the last area of the game. And you might be like, wait a second, last area of the game? Yes, we can immediately access the last area of the game from the very first. Now, the reason why this, in theory, is not very broken is because the final area is divided into two sections. It's divided in an upper section and a lower section. And the side quests spawn you in the lower one, whereas you have to access the upper one to get to the dungeons, and you normally wouldn't. However, it turns out that there is a glitch that allows us to double jump in this game, even though we're not supposed to. And by doing that, we can actually access said higher area and completely break the game. And that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna get it first, and then I'm gonna explain it. Or rather, I should explain it right now. The way it works is that you have to jump, and then on the frame after you start your jump, you have to get hit by an enemy, trigger the auto block, which is complete RNG, and then after all of that, 18 frames later, if you press the jump button again, you're gonna double jump. So in layman's term, it's a frame perfect trick, then an RNG roll, which is a bit unfavorable, it's roughly 40%, and then another frame perfect trick, and we just got it. Nice. So yeah, fail any of the frame perfect tricks or the RNG roll, and you're gonna have to try again. Luckily, it's very easy to do another shot. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to get. Over my PB, I only lost 6 seconds, so that's fine. My PB was actually really good on the double jump department. Right. So. What do I have to say? Okay, so right now you guys are gonna realize I'm gonna swap my chips again. I'm gonna remove the speed chip and I'm gonna equip the thunder chip to skyrocket my damage. And now you're gonna understand why we trained up the power down technique. Once it gets to the mega version, enemies are gonna take 5 times the damage. So I just went from 90 points of damage to 423, and that's because I did a low roll there. There's a certain range in 10%, yeah, 10% up or down for your damage, so there's a little bit of RNG there. But yeah, there you go, guys. Damage, lots and lots of damage. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill these guys in one hit. It's barely enough, so we have to just do the same thing that we did in the tutorial. We do a very weak poke, if we can get it, and then we do the power down hit. Okay, I should also mention that this game has a very fun mechanic in which sometimes, even though you have an elemental chip equipped, it will deal damage as if you didn't. Just because, right? Like, you know, I'm dealing 400, 450, and then it's like, nah, you're gonna deal 200. Just because. Like, because, really. If I had a better weapon, I would, like, that better weapon wouldn't allow me to kill these enemies in one shot. So even though we would have to invest a little bit of time to go and equip the weapon, we would also save that time here. So it would absolutely be worth it. Unfortunately, we didn't get said better weapon, and it's really not a good idea to grind for it, because the chances are pretty slim. So you might as well just try it once, because you're gonna have to try it anyway. Go to the shopping section anyway. And if a better weapon is there, kudos to you. You're gonna save time. If it's not, whatever. Okay, so you guys, Bottle of Doom. You sure you wanna know maths? Because I actually can tell you a bunch of math. We have a formula for how much the power down decreases their defense. Okay, clutch moment. I almost died, but that's fine. And the formula, I don't exactly recall it on top of my head, but what I do know is that there is a cap. After 5 points, like, if their defense is reduced by 5 times, it just stops there. Even if the technique would normally be able to reduce it by 7 or 8 times, no, it just caps out at 5, because this game is this game. Yes, I'm Brazilian. So even though Infinity Power Down would be able to reduce to ludicrous levels, the reduce is capped out. So there's that. In fact, we are already hitting the cap of 5 times. Okay. These enemies, the spider enemies, they're called Infernmons. They're absolutely the worst enemy in the game, because remember that I've been talking up until now that this game is absolutely the power down technique is absolutely busted and we absolutely need it? Yeah, those enemies have the very same technique that we do. So just like we can greatly reduce enemies' defense and attack, they can also reduce our defense and attack, which makes it enemies harder to kill and makes them very easy to kill us instead. So it's like absolutely awful. Infernmons are a big source of time waste in whatever dungeon you're in. Oopsie. Strictly speaking, I don't have to kill this enemy right here, but because he's a nuisance, if I don't... Ow, that's bad. Each time you don't have the power down, each time you're powered down, be ready because you're in risk of dying. Like, if they crit you in a bad moment, you die. It's not likely, but it is possible, and I have lost runs to that before. Okay, so here you're gonna see a technique called the block dash. Basically, you just hold the block and tap the analog twice in a given direction, and you're just gonna lunge forward a little bit. It's not a very fast form of movement. In fact, it's slower than walking. But oh, this is bad. I actually forgot to buy a couple of items that I was supposed to, and now I'm realizing that I forgot them. What was I saying? So the block dash has the interesting property that if an enemy is in your path, you're just gonna push it. It's not gonna deal damage, but you're gonna push it away, and that's like pretty good in these tight corridors in which you'd have to fight enemies otherwise. Also, I should mention that Raremon's have poison properties, and their poison is absolutely awful. They can absolutely kill you. Like, I have died to these guys because of their poison. It's absolutely awful. I was supposed to get healing discs exactly to prevent that, but I completely forgot about it, so now we're gonna have to make do with without it. Is this game fun to watch play? I think it's kind of fun to play. I don't know if it's very fun to watch, because there's never anyone playing it so that I can watch it myself. But there's that. Oh yeah, remember that I said that these Infernmons, they are the worst enemies ever? Because they can power you down. Not only they can power you down, they can multiply themselves. They are pretty fast on their feet, and they take a lot of hits to kill. So it's bad. Let's see. Alright. So, coming up now is the boss. Let's see. I am losing time already. This dungeon was kind of bad. And, okay, to be honest, in my PB, the dungeon was kind of good. So I am losing time. That's fine, though. We're only gonna lose a minute. Actually, a little bit less than a minute if I can do this fight pretty fast. This guy's called Dialga. It has nothing to do with Dialga, but because I made the Genesect pun, I figure I would make this one as well. Actually, no, never mind Dialga. This pun is outdated. Rather, let's go for one of the Musketeers from Gen 5. Terrakion, I think, would be a good one. Yeah, I think would be a good one. No, they cannot digivolve to Diabromon. Fun fact, one of the bosses that we skipped actually is Diabromon. Supposedly, we should have done... we should have done a bunch of Dryland and Venom Jungle to get to the last area of the game, but we skipped that entirely. You may also notice that I didn't even bother talking about the boss, yeah, because Power Down is just so stupidly OP that you just don't care about bosses. You just power them down, boom, they're dead. Wow. Buy, okay, so I'm gonna buy Cure Discs. Contrary to popular belief, Cure Discs only heal poison. So there's that. I'm gonna sell a bunch more stuff. I'm gonna sell this because I'm not gonna use it. I think I'm gonna sell this because it's unlikely that I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna sell a couple of discs as well because I'm not really enjoying the money that I have right now. Oh yeah, I should also mention this game has booster packs in which you can actually acquire cards. It's only used for a side quest. But I figured I should mention because this is Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Man, I remember when my mom bought me a Beyblade. Man, I so killed all of those Metabots with it. Anyhow, we did the first dungeon in the game. We are 7 minutes and 30 seconds behind. That's fine though. We're still well below estimate. And not only that, I can save time over my PB at the end anyways, because the mid section was really good. Okay, the starting section was really good. The mid section was pretty well, but the end section of my PB was kind of bad, so we can save time there. Let's see. Alright, so this is the longest dungeon in the game. We're gonna spend roughly 19 to 20-ish minutes here. We can actually save time at this spot, but it's probably gonna take us 18 minutes to finish. Come on, strong hit. Okay, good. Yeah, this dungeon has 4 floors, and each is bigger than the previous one. It's absolutely bad. It also has some pretty annoying enemies. Okay, so I'm gonna destroy these crates right here, because you have to destroy them to trigger the next set of enemies at the top, and you have, oops, you have to kill them in order to unlock the door. Okay, time for my anti-poison measures that I luckily bought. These guys are annoying, by the way. And you can't block their poison wave, which is pretty good. I know, and just as I said that they... Okay. Okay, that's fine. We have 60 data, but we're probably not gonna be using it. Actually, we are. Never mind. It's gonna be a little bit of time waste, but just for you guys, just for the fans, I'm gonna do it. And if it allows me to get the quick kill on the final boss, then I'm all for it. You may notice that I didn't use the charge attack. The reason for that is these enemies would spawn right here. So... Okay, I almost died, but that's fine. The reason why these guys are bad is because they can bind you, and then you're just stuck. So, how are you guys enjoying it? Luckily, the parry is just so OP that we can just keep blocking it. Alright, good. By the way, I almost died, guys. Don't worry about that. If Raremons are the worst enemies in the game, I'm sorry, Infirmons are the worst enemies in the game, those little blobs, they are the second worst thing. Because they can stun you and they can poison you. I've died to them before. A couple of times, actually. In fact, there's gonna be another Raremon clutch moment later on. Actually, the clutch moment comes right now, doesn't it? Yeah, it comes right now. No! Okay. Okay, the clutch moment happened again. That's fine. There's a hidden wall behind that, like... Ah! Okay, almost died again. That's fine. I'm a professional speedrunner. Don't worry, guys. But there's a hidden wall in that spot, and the gimmick is that normally you have to break walls, but the problem is that there's that black overlay thingy, shadow, whatever you want to call it, that makes it impossible for you to see what you're doing. So you basically have to destroy a wall, all while fighting two Raremons and a bunch of Infirmons. And if they bind you, it's absolutely awful, and they can absolutely kill you. I have died in that section. It's always a clutch moment whenever I get there. Luck, and I mean, as you have seen, this was another clutch that we almost died, but we're good. We're professional speedrunners, we saved it. We do it for the fans. We get in risky situations and then save it. Because that's how marathons are supposed to go. You might also... Okay, so a downside to the power down technique is that it costs an insane amount of mana. So we have to rely on healing discs to just speed us up. Another section, another hallway, another bunch of Raremons. Alright, we're good. We're good, guys. We're good. I'm also not paying that much attention to chat because these dungeons are kinda... They're kinda dangerous, alright? Just go with me when I say it. Oops. You can actually die here. It's unlikely, but it is possible to die. Alright, this is the third floor. And right here, we're gonna be introduced to our little friend, the choo-choo train. He's gonna be hunting us for the rest of the dungeon. And we're gonna try to block it, because we don't want to be hugged. But if it happens, like, if I'm distracted talking to you guys, like right now, god damn it, that was a jump scare. He can get you. These Ramons you can get by just jumping on the corner. It's a little bit tight, but it's possible. So yeah. Also, if anyone remembers, this is the first boss that we fought at the beginning of the run. They just reused it as enemies. Now we go down, I think. I'm gonna heal, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, so because I'm kind of short on mana, I'm gonna do a little bit of a different strat. I'm gonna try to get as much of them in my power downs as possible. Alright, they hit me. Yeah, Doromon is a pretty cool Digimon. Actually, it's not, but whatever. He's probably the slowest one of the bunch to speedrun with. Probably. I mean, there's an argument on which is the worst one. If it's Agumon, Doromon, or Vmon. You can argue that any of them is kind of bad. I'm gonna hit you the old-fashioned way without power down because I want to conserve my mana. There you go, dead. Trying to conserve my mana as much as possible, guys, because I'm really not liking my inventory right now. Great. Thanks for the weak hit. Also, ice physics. They're kind of fun, don't you think? I'm supposed to go down. Please don't follow me. Please don't follow me. Please don't follow me. Okay, I think they're not following me. They're following me. No. No. Please don't follow me. Please don't follow me. No, they followed me. No. The Raimons. The Infernmons, I mean. They're bad in the same fashion. Just other types of bad. Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. You're blocking my attacks. No. Luckily, this Infernmon wasn't as much of a nuisance as it normally is. Alright, we're good. I said we are good. Okay. Ice physics and switches on the ground that we have to push to unlock the door, because that's difficult, right guys? Alright, okay, we're good. We're good. Let's see. Do I have anything to talk about? Okay, so we're gonna get a level up in this next floor. I don't know how many enemies it's gonna take. Probably 6, I think. I'm gonna pause real quick just to check. 602. No, I need 7 enemies actually. Yes, if I had gotten I'm gonna sneeze. Alright. The clutch is real. If I had gotten a weapon with more mod slots, yes, I would have equipped life steal. Mana steal, I'm sorry. Oh, and by the way, if you remember the boss from the previous dungeon, yeah, it's this guy again. Because they're very creative with their designs in this game. Wait, I'm not supposed to go... I'm supposed to go down, right? I think I'm supposed to go down. Never mind. Yeah, then I'm supposed to go here. And welcome back, our little friend, the choo-choo train. Right about now. I'm gonna get those crate. Ah, we actually got Mana Steel as a chip. How funny is that? We're playing the GameCube version, and we're playing on Dolphin Emulator. Stop blocking my attacks. You nuisance. Alright. So, I heard you like Infirmons. No, they poisoned me. I mean, powered me down. And yeah, as you can see, they do a lot of damage. Oh yeah, by the way, at level 23, we get a new technique. It's called the power-up technique. And it does exactly what it sounds. It increases our attack and our defense. By the way, have I ever told you guys that Infirmons waste quite a lot of time? Don't worry, the dungeon is long, but this is the last floor already. Come on, can we make the cycle? Can we make the cycle? Where are you? Okay, you're here. Not that bad. By the way, guys, platforming in an action RPG. Because... Oh, I slipped. Okay. It's been ages since I've done that. Don't worry, I'm a professional speedrunner, guys. And I also lost a cycle. These panels are kind of slippery. Kinda. Don't worry. Professional speedrunner. I tried to save half a second, and I lost like a bajillion. Here's another instance in which we do the charge attack just to get past that enemy that we don't actually have to fight. Okay, so another interesting bit of trivia. As soon as I finish with this guy, I'm focused, I'm totally paying attention to what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so as I was saying, no, at the start, like when I was level 22, you might have seen me do a hit and then use the power down, whereas now you're just seeing me power down immediately. The reason for that is, before I was not able to instantly kill him, whereas once I get level 23 and the power up technique, I can combine both of them and actually be able to one-hit kill these enemies. So the strat changes a tiny little bit. If I had gotten a better weapon, like half an hour ago, I would be able to instantly kill them in one shot. So that would save a little bit more time as well, but I didn't, that's fine. This is gonna be the last instance of the choo-choo train, so say hello to it. Yeah, the cap is 30 points of proficiency per level. The cap changes later on. It becomes 20, and then it becomes 5. And then it becomes 10, and then it becomes 5, and then it becomes something else. But yeah, don't worry about it. I'll gladly take this one hit. Oh yeah, I should also mention, when they have these barrier, you can't attack them, otherwise the damage just bounces back to you. What you have to do is either wait for them to dispel it, or attack from the back, in which case you're gonna break the barrier in one shot and deal damage. Nope, don't hit me, don't hit me. Almost dead, but not dead. I'm a professional speedrunner. Alright, good. Now right here we get a completely mana refill, that's fine. How is the cycle? We actually missed the full cycle, that's fine. So, how are you guys doing? Do you visit RPG Limit Break often? You guys like cooking? There's nothing to do if you miss a cycle. I have no idea if the cycle is global, it's a sort of local, or anything else. I just know that there's a cycle. And that's it. Yeah, the theme is almost dead, but not really dead. Alright, this dude right here, it can waste a lot of time or it can go pretty fast. The reason for it is that it moves around very quickly, so getting a power down on it, it's kind of difficult. Okay, we got it, that's good. That purple wave also poisoned you, in case you have not noticed. And when he's doing this punch attack, he's invincible, so that's more time waste. Ah, and it knocks you back, which is also kind of bad. Come on, help me. I just want to get a professional speedrun going. Alright, we got this, guys. We lost time, by the way. I don't know how much, because in my PB, I actually skipped that split, so I don't know how much time we lost, but just assume that we lost because we really did. If you're not used to the run, you can't really realize how bad the dungeons were, but they were kind of bad. In my PB, granted, they were kind of good, but I could still save a little bit of time here. Especially if I had a better weapon. Anyway, I'm gonna do something very funny. I'm gonna disable the side quest. And that's because when you have a side quest on, you cannot change your weapons. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unequip again my stuff. Armor, remove this. Remove this, and now I have vanilla stats pretty much. By the way, watch out the shot pistol, it's kind of sick. I'm gonna check for stuff here, and if I get it a better weapon, good, I'm gonna use it, otherwise it's fine. Let's see, I have to sell this. By the way, let's get back to the menus. I don't think we have enough money. Yeah, we don't have enough money to actually buy a new weapon. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. No, but okay, I actually have something to do. For the fans, we're gonna use our data that we collected. Don't worry guys, I'm just losing time, but I'm losing it for the fans. Alright? For the fans. Oh no, but seriously, I'm doing this because it increases the chances for me to get the quick kill on the final boss. And if I do get it, then it's absolutely worth it. Whoops, not Digimon. Yes, I want this. Alright. You're not gonna see the shot pistol ever again unless I miss the quick kill, in which case I'm gonna use the shot pistol to attack the final boss from afar and try to perhaps get a quick kill. Maybe. So don't expect too much out of it. Say your goodbyes because this may or may not be the last time that I use it. Oops. Oh, by the way guys, remember that thing that I was talking about, the double jump? Which everyone absolutely loved because it was frame perfect trick? Yeah, you know how we did this once? Now we have to do it again. So, get your double jump PogChamps ready. This could be fast, this could be slow. I don't really know. Nice rhymes, man. I'm also gonna check my experience right here because if I don't have enough, I'm gonna have to kill a couple of enemies. Okay, I have to kill a couple of enemies. And beside, these enemies would just annoy me anyway, so I might as well just do it. Alright. Come over here. Come over here. This is totally a thing. Okay, I'm losing a lot of time, guys. Oh, that actually looked pretty good. Alright. Come on. I'm a professional speedrunner. I know what I'm doing. This trick is possible and I have done it in the past. In fact, I have done it half an hour ago. Like, It's really obnoxious. There's no such thing as time loss. There's only potential time save, guys. Come on. Come on. I know you can do it, Gilmon. Come on, you got this. Yeah, that's the problem with this strat. Like, it still saves, like, hours of gameplay, so it's absolutely worth doing it. But sometimes you don't just get it. And this is what happens. You lose a bunch of time. Usually I get it pretty fast, but apparently I'm not getting it right now. I'm a professional speedrunner. I know what I'm doing. In theory. This looks a bit embarrassing, but we got this, guys. And you know what's worse? There's absolutely no other strat for this. There we go. Yeah, we're just at plus 14, 16. It's not that bad. Now I have to kill a couple of enemies right here because I have to fix my experience route. Yeah, it's fixed. All right. The split's also gonna lose time because I have to kill those enemies that I normally don't. So, cutscene. Enjoy it. That powerful lag. It was on my end, guys. Don't worry. Alright, so mechanical core. How can I explain this puzzle? The deal is that this is the final area of the game. We have to enter the mechanical core in which the final boss is located. Actually, there's another area before it, but to do that, we have to get to the upper section of this area. And to do so, you have to flip those switches to unlock those panels. Now, the problem is, there's actually a puzzle associated to it because the magnetic force field something. Anyway, you just have to flip 3 more blue switches than you do red switches. For now, you're only seeing blue/green switch? Question mark. Okay, for now you've only seen blues and greens, or /greens, however you want to call it, if your vision is bad. Now here's the red. We have to push 3 blues and 1 red. Also jump on the corners to try to save a little bit of time. What else? Oh yeah, this area is also notoriously, it lags notoriously bad. Because they kind of remove the spawn cap on enemies and just spawn as many as they can. On PS2, this area goes into the single-digit frame rates, if it goes above 5. I'm pretty sure it goes below 5. Like, even on emulator it lags a little bit. On GameCube it also lags somewhat. But yeah. I know you cannot jump past those gaps. There's an invisible wall there. Actually, you could, if you were like really good at this game, you could double jump to save a little bit of time. But we're not gonna do this because it's absolutely impossible for a professional speedrunner like me. You have to be Japanese to be able to do it. Or Korean. Korean also works. But I'm neither of those, so not gonna do it. Alright, we only wasted 17 seconds? It's not that bad. No, not over the gaps, but like to get to higher floors. I'm also gonna do something right here. Okay, I got combo to death, almost. Remember that there are a lot of Infermons here? Yeah. Enjoy. I also kind of glanced over those dog rhino thingies. But they're enemies, they're not Digimon. Just nah, they can kill you if you have the power down. Like if you are debuffed yourself and they're not debuffed as well, they can actually kill you. So watch out for that. You're also gonna see me picking up items. In theory, I'm never gonna go back to base, so these items don't really matter. But if I die, which is a possibility in this area, I'm not gonna have any, like, one of the consequences of dying in this game is that you lose all your money. So I'm not gonna be able to buy the healing discs that I've used up until dying. So I'm trying to get a couple of items that I can sell in case I need it. I don't expect to, but if the necessity arises, there's that. By the way, have I said that Infermons can multiply themselves? Okay, this is dangerous territory. We're fine. Again, wasting that little bit of time for consistency. Oh, we actually upgraded our heal attack. Good job, Fire. Oh, by the way, these are Imperial Dramons. They are Fang. And yeah, they only appear in this area of the game. If you see the power down and you don't have your own power up, just use that little bit of time and make sure that you have it. I'm also playing sort of conservative strats right now. I should be using more mana to kill these guys faster, but because I'm kind of worried about my healing items and my money, I'm just trying to go a little bit safe. Yes, I'm gonna waste a little bit of time, who cares? Data for the fans. Absolutely useless, but it's for the fans. Alright. I'm also looking for something called Recovery. It's an item that fully refuels your health and mana. No, it powered me down. No, it multiplied! Why? Why, game? Luckily, when they multiply, they retain their previous... It multiplied again! Why? Why, game? Why are you doing this to me? Come on. Now my experience route is extremely screwed up, but that's fine. Come on, come over here. You have to wait until these Imperial Dramons get close to you before you can power them down. Because they're at a higher level that you normally can't reach, so you have to just rely on them getting close to you. And then using your power down when they're near. Because like, if you use your power down on the lower section, it's just gonna hit the lower section and they're gonna avoid it entirely. final stretch, guys. No, they powered me down again. I hate you, Infernons. Why do you have to do this to me? Okay, I was in risk of dying. I don't want that. Get over here. Does anyone play Scorpion? Because I kind of need a chain right now to get these guys right. I wish I could. Oops. No. Just die. Thank you. Whoops. I went to the wrong side again. Professional speedrunner, guys. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. I'm not distracted by the run being bad and the marathon setting. Don't worry. I know I'm in full control of myself. I know what I'm doing. Nah, it's not the whole game. It's just... Okay, remember that I fought a Pokemon a long time ago? Yeah, we don't actually have to fight him. If you want, you can just go to the final area straight away, as soon as you exit the boat. So yeah, not even a Pokemon has to be done. Not even the first area of the game has to be completed. You just go to the end straight away. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna look for items, and that's fine. I don't mind. Have I ever told you guys that I want to conserve my mana? Yeah. No, we're not gonna Digivolve. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, final few enemies of the game. I'm gonna use one power down just to kill him. It's fine. Normally I would get the level up here, but because those Infernons multiply themselves, I ended up missing the power down. Like, missing the level up at the right place. Alright. We actually saved time? What? This looked absolutely awful. How did I save 27 seconds? Anyway, final boss time. I'm gonna try to get the quick kill. If I get it, it's good. If not, I'm gonna explain the mechanic of this guy. For now, I'm just gonna shut up. Come on. This is looking good. Okay, almost got the quick kill. That's fine. I still have a chance. Come on, don't do this to me. Yes! I got a kind of a quick kill. I haven't gotten that in ages. Like, why do I only get the quick kill in bad runs? Granted, it's a marathon, and I'd much rather have it. Okay, so I'm gonna equip the ice chip because the second phase's weakness is ice. The first phase, it's thunder, which was already equipped. Now, the deal with this boss is that he would spawn clones of itself. So you would not only be fighting the boss itself, you would be fighting 3 other copies. And if you were to kill the final boss, you would just take the body of one of its copies instead. And you would do that as many times as needed. So you have to kill them while there's no one else. This poison wave is absolutely obnoxious. The hit, like, see, I was totally blocking it, and it still got me anyway. Clear this. When he's doing the purple wave, he's invulnerable, so don't even try attacking. Also, you can see by my commentary that I'm trying to focus on 2 different things at the same time. Oh, come on. Don't be a bad fight. No! Okay, this is bad. Yeah, this guy is kind of annoying. Come on. Alright, we got this. The gimmick with this boss is that, yeah, he does that. When you attack him a bunch of times, he just gets bigger, his attacks get more powerful, and he does the poison wave thingy. I should also mention that the hitbox on the poison wave is extremely wonky, and it feels like you're hitting, but in reality, you're not. Like, it's so difficult to explain. There's also a thing in which, for this phase in particular, damage is capped at 484. You cannot deal more than 484 points of damage in a single blow. Even still, it's still worth it to just use the ice metal, even though it's like its weakness. At any point, you can already say GG's because the run is over. Actually, no, it isn't. There's a final phase, but there's an AI manipulation for the final phase, and I'm gonna just get it. I'm not gonna explain anything. I'm just gonna let it roll for a little while, and then I'm gonna explain what it does. Whoops, I forgot to unequip the ice metal and put the dark one instead. Yes, the final boss is weak to darkness. Because why not, right? So, how are you guys doing? By the way, time is coming when the final boss's HP hits 0. When it does, a cutscene is gonna start playing, and as soon as that happens, you can call time, just in case I forget about it. But yeah, so, how are you guys enjoying the final boss? It's difficult, isn't it? Does anyone want to come and play? Like, I can hand the controller to anyone, and I'm pretty sure you guys can do it. Just gotta understand what's going on. Alright, so, the deal with this is that normally he has a lot more attacks than this, but like, he has the ones that he's doing right now, but he could also be moving around rapidly, as well as using a bunch of, like, missiles that follow you around, a barrier, and then a just jump in front of you and you kinda die attack. However, he's only programmed to use the dangerous attacks and start moving around if you hit him while he's in the middle of the lightning attack, which is this one. So as long as you don't hit him, like if he stomps the ground, it's fine. You're good, you can attack him. But if he starts doing the lightning attack, then you just don't attack him and he's never gonna get out of this lock. And this place right here is a safe spot in this in the hitbox, so you just stay here and you're good. Time is coming up real shortly. Now the only problem with this manip is that it depends on him not using the lightning attack, and he can always just block your hits. Like right now, I can easily kill him, but I can't, because he might just get out of the lock and kill me instead. So like, at this point he's just wasting time. Come on, at any moment. I should also know that he's invincible while I was doing the lightning attack. Like, in some parts of the animation. And he's now, okay, now I can attack him, but I cannot because he's doing the lightning. I could go YOLO and try to finish the run right here, right now, but because we're not gonna have time in case I don't get it, I'm just gonna play it a little bit safe. And that's time. So, I hope you guys enjoy this AI manip. When I first found about it, you know, I was pretty amazed. So, yeah. So this is Digimon World 4. If you guys want SDA timing, aka when you get to credits, like, it's just that little portal right here. But come on, it's absolutely impossible to not just walk past it. Oh, wait, I'm losing time. Oh, SDA, please don't do this to me. Come on, like, it's impossible. Anyway, I'm gonna play the credits for you guys, and at this point, I'm pretty much done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Yeah, this is World 4. Pretty good, I might say. Unfortunately, oh, actually, I can evolve. If we have, I think, 4 to 5 minutes, I can actually Digivolve, but it's not to the Digimon that you guys want. But I can actually Digivolve with 4 or 5 minutes. Alright, I just got the heads up. People allowed me to Digivolve. I said that to unlock evolutions you have to do side quests. Unfortunately we don't have time for that. But by getting level 16, we actually unlock another evolution. So we're gonna go, we just have to go to the Digilab and talk to the Digilab elf, and it's gonna unlock that evolution for us. So as soon as credits finish, I'm gonna go do that. But for now, let's just enjoy the music. Alright, so, is the side quest still active? Fun fact, the side quest to do the final area of the game is still active, so we're gonna have to deactivate it, otherwise we cannot talk to the Digilab. Whatever, let's just quit. Do I have... Okay, I do. Is there a 100% speedrun? No. In fact, there's not even a definition for 100%. Like, no clear definition. But there is, if you want a longer run, there's signature weapon percent, in which we do the entirety of normal mode, and then we do the entirety of hard mode, and then we get a special weapon. Anyway, by talking to the Digielf, oh no, I have another Digielf, it's confirmed, congratulations, your DNA has learned a new Digivolve technique. And we get Agumon, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna Digivolve into Agumon. Let's go. Digivolve. Whoops. Let's evolve into Agumon at level 1. And this is it. For getting level 16 with your starter, you get another starter, and for get level 16 with that another starter, you just get the other one, and then you can get all 4 evolutions. for your main file. But that's really it. I'm gonna leave you guys with Agumon and Pistols. That's Digimon World 4. I have nothing else to show. I hope you guys have enjoyed.